Okay, good afternoon everyone and welcome to this week's Into Growth TV show for Southwest Hearts. My name is Diane Richardson and you can reach us on L4G SW Herts, and we have a packed show for you. Neal is away, so I'm doing the sport. Tania is back with us, so she's going to tell us all sorts of new and interesting news, aren't you, Tania?
I am always full of loads of interesting news, absolutely.
Yeah, and you're focusing on some business support for Watford and Three Rivers planning this week, aren't you?
Yep, there's loads of planning stuff coming in and some really interesting stuff.
Okay, that's good. And Catherine, you will be talking about council and Diwali plans and things like that, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we've got Diwali on the parade, and we've got art exhibitions, and we've got Halloween spooky things going on. So, and of course the restaurant review, the one to look out for each week.
Exactly. And unfortunately, Neal can't be with us again this week. So Catherine and I are going to talk about the Arsenal game, and then I'm going to bring the rest of the sports news. And you can't see it, but I can, and in the background she was busy biting her fingers. And we've got Chris down at the market with quite a lot of important news from down that way.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got all sorts of shenanigans going down here on the market, so I'm going to be able to give you a bit of an update. I'm with Ray Marks here, as you can see next to me, so we're going to be talking to him, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on things all fishy.
Okay, and we're also going to be talking about some new initiatives down in Rickmansworth as well, aren't we, Chris? You're going to jump in the car and head down that way.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, there's some stuff going on down there in the High Street. The traders are getting together to do a kind of boost for Rickmansworth, which is a great initiative. So I'm going to be going down there and talking to one of the people involved in that.
Okay, that's great. And firstly, we're going to very briefly touch on some of the Link for Growth events of the past week. Last Saturday, there was a coffee down at Watford Market. I'm not sure if it'll be happening tomorrow. Chris will no doubt tell us more about that later. On Sunday, there was a breakfast at the Jumping Cafe. Good breakfast, Chris?
Always a good breakfast down there. I had a bit of a custom breakfast this week, so I wasn't in the 1 to 6 zone. I had a bit of this and a bit of that, but all very nice, yeah. So had some good conversations. Neal popped in as well, which was great. So yeah, all in all, fantastic event there.
Oh, that's absolutely great. And then on Monday there was a Link for Coffee at Ocean Bells, and on Tuesday you could make back-to-back comparisons with Lemon Drizzle Cave, couldn't you? Because on Tuesday there was a Link for Coffee at the kitchen in the morning.
This story goes on and on with the drizzle cake. I tell you what, the funny thing was I was down at Ocean Bells and Tania was there as well, and I was going to try the lemon drizzle cake and I forgot all about it, and I was only as I was going out I said, oh my god, I missed an opportunity to compare these two drizzle cakes. But anyway, so yeah, that was a shame, but yeah, it was good fun down there. There's quite a good crowd of us actually.
Okay, great, fabulous. And I think we'll start off, Chris, because as I said, you've got to go to Rickmansworth after doing this interview. You're going to be talking to Ray Marks about his stall on the market and other market news, which is pretty big and sort of like breaking as we speak.
Absolutely. So I'm going to bring Ray in here now. So hi Ray, how you doing?
Hi Chris. Okay.
So this is actually quite a sad week really, because you've been running El's Kitchen for how many years?
15.
And before that, you bought that market or that stall from somebody else. What was it called before that then?
Before it was called Eileen's Eating Alley.
Right.
And they were there for 40 years.
Right.
In outdoor and indoor.
Right. So this is down at the old market and before.
Yes. The car park and everything.
Right. Okay. So you've been up here a year, and basically it's all gone horribly wrong, hasn't it?
Big time.
Big time. So
big time.
Now, just take us through the process, because up until like a week yesterday, Thursday, everything was okay, wasn't it? I mean, you got into a negotiation with the lease, but
Yes.
you were still here and everything was okay.
Yes.
And then on the Thursday you had a meeting which was inconclusive,
It was inconclusive, yes.
and an agreement to reschedule that.
Yes.
And then on Friday you get a letter to say you've got to get out by Saturday evening.
Correct. 24-hour notice.
So after 15 years of dedicated service to Watford,
Yeah.
basically just that's it, go.
Yeah, arguably probably the busiest CAF around, you know, and a community CAF, and it's all gone pear-shaped, and the local people are devastated, and not just because of me, I'm talking of the community base that was there.
So you've in the old market you had what, about 90 covers?
I've covered 90 people at any one time.
Yeah, and here it was cut drastically to what, 20, 30?
20.
20. The outside area, of course, you could use.
Yes.
But of course, in the winter, that's not exactly.
No, it's bitter. Is the only way around it. Bitter.
I tell you now, Diane, it was bitter in the summer, let alone in the winter.
Diane's first-hand experience of that out there.
Yeah. So you've written to Dorothy
Yes.
and Manny
Yes.
at the council.
Yes.
Where now? What happens next?
I don't know. I'm just hoping to get myself a shop locally, so I can reopen as L's Kitchen again. You know, but it's very difficult to get a shop around here because all the big boys, i.e. Starbucks and the like, are buying up everything, and a small guy like myself hasn't got a chance. So where I'll go from here, I'm not exactly sure, but hopefully, fingers crossed, if something will come up.
I mean, we host our coffee down here at L's Kitchen. Of course, last week would have been the last week we were able to do that. So we're homeless as well. I know that's no consolation.
Come around my house, that's all right.
But well, I know that we've got some people looking at the situation, the paperwork and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Clearly, a day is not really acceptable to cease trading, and there should have been some notice period, but we'll get to the bottom of that at some point.
Yeah.
All we can really do is say, you know, like, we hope you get sorted out soon. And so you're looking at the top of the high street here for
anywhere locally, yeah. Queens Road, Market Street, or Parade, the bottom end of the parade.
Yeah.
Hopefully something will come up.
Okay, so there you go, Diane. It's not an ideal situation. We don't really know what can happen in terms of the legalities of it, but what is clear is that Ray's L's Kitchen is closed, and we hope he opens up again somewhere soon, so we can get things going again.
I've had enough of doing the hoovering at home.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, Chris.
And I'll catch up again
Cheers,
soon.
Di. Thank you.
Right, so I don't know if you can still hear me, but the other news is that I don't know whether you can see behind me. We've got what's his name there? Aylesbury Fisheries in the background there. They're basically clearing out their stall. They've completely sold out. But other news is that Lovely Lee's fish shop is now closed officially. They are no longer open, and the store, I think they're coming up to close that, taking their stuff out tomorrow. I don't know exactly the details of why that's been closed. I understand that the lease has not been renewed. But the good news for the market is that Aylesbury Fisheries are going to take over that stall and operate 2 stalls here on the market. The stall that's behind me is going to be used for mainly seafood. It's all seafood, for shellfish and for high quality fish. And at the other stall, they're going to be selling all the things like sea bass and whole fish like trout and stuff like that. So the market's still going to have 2 stalls, but they're just going to both be Aylesbury Fisheries. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I saw Joe earlier, and he's going to basically fill me in with the details, and I'll update you next week on that.
Okay, so it sounds really exciting news for Aylesbury Fisheries, but another trader has left the market, in Lovely Lee's Fish, and it seems that this is kind of like the crunch time, in that it's been just over a year now since people have moved in. They said, we'll give it a year, we'll see what happens. And the feeling you get is that people are looking very seriously at the viability of the new market.
Yeah, we haven't seen the end of changes down here. The Junction Flowers has also not renewed the lease on their unit and reverted now to Saturday trading only. So he's going to basically be an external trader that's paying for a pitch as and when he wants to trade. So there are other changes still happening down here. We've not seen the end of this, but it's a market in transition.
It certainly is. Okay then, Chris, well, we'll stop there because I know you've got to get down to Rickmansworth, so we'll let you go. But before we do, we need to talk about Watford Business Improvement District.
So that again, that's a bit noisy down here.
We need to talk about Watford Improvement District.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So Watford bid. If you remember, I reported in on this after the last event, which was held at the Woo Woo Bar, I think it's called, under Oceana. It was that happened at the end of September, and the bidding for the Watford bid has been, the voting has been going on all October. I think it started on October the 4th. I believe that the termination for that voting will be, I think it's the 29th at midday. So if you own a shop in the high street within the ones that what do they call it, the ring road, if you have a premises within there, you've got this week really until the 29th or maybe the 30th to get your vote in, whether it's going to happen or not. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see. I suspect we'll have a result by next week.
Okay, and the other thing is there's a Red Line meeting, Red Line public meeting on Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah, there was. There was only a handful of us there, really. I think it was about 9 of us, or maybe even less than that. Very difficult to get everybody into a room on the same day, to be honest. So a lot of discussion about types of organisation that is going to be created for what we're looking to achieve with saving that Red Lion pub. We now have the different figures for different propositions of how much of the building we could basically operate, whether it's just the pub downstairs, pub and upstairs, and the stables and all of it, etc., etc. So lots of options there to consider, but we've got to have another meeting to set things up, basically, because there are insufficient people there to do it on this occasion, but things are progressing.
Okay, that's great, and we'll let you, as I said, we'll let you go because of your bits. I know Catherine's involved in the campaign. Were you at the meeting, Catherine?
Yes, I was there. I was there on Monday, in fact, because the meeting was Monday. But yeah, they were. The agenda was basically to try and formalise some of the campaign strategies. Trying to put together a memorandum of association for the campaign, to formalise a committee to incorporate the campaign and actually start thinking about fundraising, and also reporting on the meeting that we had with the current owner of the property and the land and his estate agent, from which came the report about prices and things that he's asking. So yes, I mean, watch this space really for the next date for the next public meeting. We need to try and get as many people as we can there, really, to try and move the thing forward a little bit further, rather than keep things dragging on for another week, or trying to get everybody together. But it's moving. It's moving.
Okay, that's great, and thank you, Chris. Good luck on your trip to Rickmansworth through the traffic, and we'll speak to you later.
Yeah, I'll catch up with you in a bit. Have a good show, folks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Tania. Hi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Sorry about my late start with you.
That's okay, don't worry. I thought we'd lost you. I thought Catherine was going to have to do the news as if I'm doing the sport.
No, I just had a client that you know me, Diane. I like to to make sure that we finish a conversation, and unfortunately she ran over a little.
Okay, that's not a problem. I'm glad that you could join us now. First of all, Watford are offering some free business support for residents.
This is blooming fantastic news. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, Watford Borough Council are offering, exactly as you say, free business support for Watford residents. So anyone who's a budding entrepreneur who fancies starting up a business or already has a business that they want to develop, actually the council has teamed up with online business support agency My Ventures, MIV they call themselves, to offer a range of valuable information and templates for people in the area. How brilliant is that? I know when I started in business, I used the incubator, My Incubator, over near the big Asda there, to help with supporting me in my startup business. That advice that they gave me there was absolutely invaluable. So it's really, really great that you can now chat online instantly with professional business mentors in real time without the need to travel anywhere, whether it's business startup advice or existing advice for existing businesses. That's absolutely great. Fantastic opportunity. Anyone who's got an idea that wants to take that forward, really, really great opportunity there. Go to myventures, MIVENTURES.co.uk for more information. Brilliant stuff.
Okay, that sounds really good. That does sound, like the kind of help that a lot of people can offer. And of course, we are Link for Growth offers something similar through the online mentoring groups.
That's right, and they are fantastic too. I've benefited from those online mentoring groups myself. It's like having your own boardroom, to be honest, with a whole host of experienced people who, just because I have difficulty in this area, someone else doesn't, so why not pool our advice, pool our resources, and help each other. Really, really great opportunity there.
Yeah. I agreed. And the other thing is, we've been invaded by a Triffid-like plant.
We have. I heard about Japanese knotweed a number of years ago when I was friends with somebody who was a garden consultant, and it does seem like it's a bit of a Triffid. You're exactly right. It's so invasive, and the root system. I mean, that on the day of the Triffids, the plants actually kill people. Well, this kills concrete, kills the foundations in buildings, flood defences, road paving, all sorts of things. It's really, really powerful stuff. You know how a single drip can work its way through a piece of stone or whatever over time. Well, Japanese knotweed is just like that. Creates a river in blooming concrete and that sort of thing, and it's a notifiable disease. So good on Watford Council again. They're doing something about it. It is actually quite prolific. So on land managed by the council, including public open spaces, rights of way, housing properties, and some industrial areas, they're going to be fenced off over the next coming weeks, ready for this treatment works to begin. And I understand, I was talking to someone who does this sort of work recently, I understand actually they inject the poison into the root system. So fairly simple thing to do, but really lots of work to do because it's so invasive and you have to kill the roots. So yeah, that's all happening.
So, I mean, if it starts rattling, we know we're in trouble.
If it starts what, sorry?
Rattling. Yeah, in the day of the Triffids, the stems rattle, don't they?
That's it, absolutely. If it starts rattling, run! Apparently there's no residue, so you don't have to be worried about your pets or anything like that. It's an injection straight into the roots. So yeah, just don't let it rattle near you.
Right, okay, that's good. And Three Rivers District Council have got two big planning decisions or planning announcements, building announcements, have happened. The first one is that almost half of new affordable home initiative in South Oxley is in disarray, or is in tatters or something.
Yes, interesting story. This the redevelopment of South Oxley is a huge project, and South Oxley is an area that I've lived sort of fairly close to for some time. It used to be one of my favourite shopping places because they've got a really nice. I'm not on the BBC, so I can mention a really nice co-op up there to do your weekly shopping in. So it's a nice community area up there, and they're redeveloping it, and lots of homes, lots of new shops and things. The plan was to have about 50% affordable housing in that. But it seems to me that once again the developers are getting in on the act and saying that unless they can make more money out of these developments, then they're not going to be able to do it. And it's sort of, well, it's only my opinion, but it seems to me like they're holding the council to ransom. So the proposal that they've got in now is that they'll have 20% affordable housing. That's just 96 homes. Well, that seems like an awful big reduction from the 50% that they were looking for. There's something got to be a bit odd going on here in my mind. But the council is still saying that in making this, the revenue generating opportunities. Now, I'm all for the council generating revenue because there's a lot of services that they've got to apply to provide. And those services are expensive. But the revenue generating opportunities aren't enough that actually they can go for more affordable homes in there. Something's not right here.
And I know a little bit about this because I've volunteered down there with a local charity that looks after the area, and I know this has been the whole redevelopment of the shopping precinct has been a long-standing issue. It's been running on for at least 5 or 6 years already. And when they first started talking about it, they'd say it'd be finished by now. And of course, they haven't even, cut the ground or anything, have they? It's all still tied up in discussions about how much, what the split's going to be.
Yeah. And in the meantime, there are people that are living there that, because all of the businesses are under such an uncertain foundation, all the businesses are going, and the people living there are having to move out. I mean, it really is quite it's taking a bit too long.
Yeah, I think most people would agree with you there. But Three Rivers, have also got to think about planning application for 400 new flats and 4-storey office blocks and a new coffee shop and a gym as well. This is down Tolpis Lane.
That's right, yeah. So this one looks as if it's, I don't know, a little bit further forward maybe, I don't know. The Wolsey Business Park on Tolpits Lane is going to be demolished, according to this particular plan, to make way for the 401 flats along Tolpits Lane there. The developers are R² Properties, and actually that area that they're building on is an area of outstanding natural beauty. So they've put in this proposal. There'll be a 3-storey basement underneath the flats, and as you say, there's coffee shops and gyms, and they're supposed to be luxury flats, so that looks good. It's an area of outstanding natural beauty. Why have an industrial estate right next door to it, is what they're saying. Let's have some lovely homes. The area needs regeneration, fresh ideas, and the building will be a catalyst for change in the future. I have a feeling that I read that it was proposed and accepted. Oh no, that was the other one that was proposed and accepted. So this is just being considered.
Okay, and of course these planning decisions have massive economic impact on the local area, don't they?
That's right. Not only economic impact, but also about education. So at the moment, the Reach Free School is temporarily based there, and of course that all of those 400 new homes are going to require they're going to require doctors, they're going to require teachers, all sorts of things. So massive economic impact in that area.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about how Watford have put out an appeal for everyone to make sure they're registered by a certain date on the electoral polls and everything. And now, this week, it's Hertsmere's turn.
That's right. So if you're in the Hertsmere area and you're not registered, or you've had one of those notes through the door that says, please make sure that these details are correct, then please fill them in and send them back, because otherwise you're going to have someone knocking on your door at the moment, checking if you've got any questions, or if you've sent it back and you're happy with it, or you haven't sent it back because you're not happy with it. So you're going to have someone knocking on your door just to check these days. And if you want to vote, if you want to have a say in how the community is being run and this sort of decision that's being taken, then make sure that you're properly registered. Not only that, you know, but it also has implications for your credit rating, I was hearing last week. So getting yourself properly registered is a really important thing to do.
Okay, that's absolutely great. And finally, which is kind of a link into the football fans have raised over £800 for the peace.
That's right. How blooming fantastic. So the Hornets were apparently news to me, but actually I did know that Arsenal was playing the Hornets last week, and over £800, £825 was raised for the Peace Hospice care. Brilliant opportunity. There were parents and children all dropping money into the collection bucket, said one of the collectors, Claire Charles. Brilliant idea. T-shirts being sold and fantastic stuff going on there. And people were apparently even going up to the people collecting and saying, you know, my family member was looked after by the Peace Hospice. Thank you so much for what you've done, and thank you so much for doing this collection to make sure that that charity can keep going and keep delivering fantastic service for those families that need that sort of thing. It's 25-year anniversary this year, and the hospice home team apparently made 2,681 visits to patients last year alone. So it's a massive thing that they're doing. Great opportunity, and great opportunity last weekend for people to say thank you to them.
Yeah, it sounds good. And £800 is quite a total for one day or one afternoon's fundraising. And I know Catherine's going to be talking about a different type of fundraising for the piece a bit later on. But initially, as you said, Watford played Arsenal last week and they lost 3-0. Catherine.
Yes?
You saw the game?
I did see the game, and that is unusual for me. I'm not a football fan particularly, but we did dash back from our shopping and our coffee with Neal at Reason in order to get back for the match. Something I thought I'd never say, in fact. But yes, it was. I think it was a 5:30 kick-off because it was being televised. So we settled down on our comfy seats in our lounge to be entertained by the world of sport, and we were entertained for the first half. In the first half, Watford actually played incredibly well, and they really looked on form. But come the second half, it was a very, very different story. Now, I don't know the names of the players who scored. One of them might have been called Sanchez. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But there were 3 goals in all, and they came in pretty rapid succession. And unfortunately, it seemed that once they'd scored one, Watford seemed to sort of think, nah, never mind then. And had almost hung up their football boots 10 minutes into the second half. So it went very quickly downhill. It was a real shame because, as I say, the first half was just so entertaining to watch. The one name I do know and can mention is Troy Deeney, and he was great. You know, you saw him in every part of the attacking part of the game. I'm sure there's a technical term for that as well, but he really seemed to be trying to pull the team together. And as I say, the first half was fabulous. Just wish it could have held out for the second half, but maybe next time.
Who knows? Maybe next time indeed. And it's been actually quite an interesting week because Gino Pozzo, the owner of Watford, has been talking about the financial difference between Watford and one of the other clubs he owns, that's Udinese, who play in Serie A in the Italian league. Serie A is apparently the equivalent of the Premier League. And he was just saying that because of the difference in the money raised from television revenues and incomes and everything, that it basically the budget at Watford has been described as being on a different planet to that of Udinese, which when you think how great and good the Italian league is in terms of football, and it used to be on Sunday afternoons, I remember, and things like that, it is staggering how this discrepancy in funding can come about. It really is quite an interesting article that has been posted on several websites. I mean, if Watford stay up this season, they're entitled to another £180 million because of the new television deal for next season. So that's another reason why they're battling so hard to make sure they stay in the Premiership this season. Because if they go down, then obviously the income will drop off significantly. So that was one piece of really interesting news. The other piece of interesting news is that Watford season ticket holders are on sale for the second half of the season. They will on sale today. They may well have all gone by now, but they have 500 extra season tickets on sale, and details are available on the Watford Football Club website. If you are a season ticket holder, Watford are offering free tickets to the under-21 game against Queen's Park Rangers on Monday night at Vicarage Road. So what you have to do is turn up and present your season ticket, and you can get you can go and watch Watford under-21s play for free. If you've got a season ticket, and everyone apparently will be sitting in the Graham Taylor stand, and the seating will be unreserved. I think that's the big stand, the new that's been there for a little while. So if you are a season ticket holder and you've got nothing to do on Monday, pop along and support Watford youngsters. Then tomorrow Watford plays Stoke, and there's been a lot of coverage, as there usually is with a lot of these football games involving Watford and other in the Premier League. Quiche Sanchez-Flores has been saying that Watford are disappointed to be 15th, that the players are quite upset by that because they feel their performances would merit being much higher up the league table. He's looking to obviously to win tomorrow, because it's Stoke are not one of the kind of big 5 or 6 teams, although they have had several years in the Premiership and are doing quite well. I haven't had a chance to speak to Neal about what his prediction for the game would be, but the bookmakers that I've seen, and you could say, well, what do they know? Say that Stoke are more likely to win by a narrow margin, 2-1 or 1-0 or something like that. So that we'll have to wait and see. But Watford have got 1 or 2 injury doubts for the game, with their Swiss international Balaron Perami may not be fit, and the Spanish midfielder Jose Manuel Jurado is still recovering from his hamstring injury. So that will obviously mean that Watford might have to change 1 or 2 of the team from last week. There is also talk about changing formation, perhaps slightly, to try and make it a little bit more attacking, to try and increase the number of goals scored. There's also been a couple of articles about, and Neal has talked about this in the past, about Quiche Sanchez's handling of substitutes and whether or not he's doing it well. And 1 or 2 people are slightly baffled by the fact that some people seem to just appear on the bench 1 week and then they're not seen or heard of for several weeks. The feeling is that it's a lot to do with the way that people train during the week, and whether or not he thinks they're fit enough or not fit enough. whether or not they've trained well during the week and shown a great attitude and everything, shown a positive attitude, which, as Tania was talking about last week, is so important in sport. So obviously he's monitoring all of that, which is why he's changing substitutes quite regularly, and I think compared with last season, where the manager seemed to be able to have a golden touch with substitutes and bring on a player, and all of a sudden things would change dramatically for Watford. That hasn't been happening this year, but of course people are forgetting that this time Watford are playing in the Premier League as opposed to the Championship last year. So, I think a lot of people are watching the situation with interest. Okay. The other thing that is happening with Watford is that one of their former players, Veron, has applied to become, or is considering becoming, a FIFA, which is the world governing authority, presidential candidate. This is the organisation that used to be run by Sepp Blatter, so that would be quite an interesting one. He apparently was not a great player when he was at Watford, although he did have success elsewhere for various other clubs. But since leaving football, he's set himself up as a lawyer and financial consultant in Switzerland. So that's why he thinks that he stands a good chance of doing quite well and obtaining the job. The other local sports news is for football is that Kings Langley lost to Hanwell Town 2-1 away last weekend. But all the goals scored in the second half. Hanwell scored first, and then Kings Langley brought it back to 1-1, and then Hanwell scored again for 10 minutes from the end. So the next home game that Kings Langley have is home tomorrow to Barton Rovers. Kick-off at 3 o'clock. Both teams are fairly close in the league, but Kings Langley are about 4 points ahead of Barton. So it should be a good game. The other thing is we've got some major golf news. Major golf is coming back to the Grove for 2016. Luke Donald, who decides where some of these tournaments are going to be played, has decided that the Grove will host the British Masters next year. The British Masters is a major European Tour event. Should be some fantastic golfers there. Earlier this year it was held at Woburn. It made its return after a 7-year absence from the European Tour schedule. Of course, the Grove hosted a European Tour event in 2006 when Tiger Woods was still at his pomp, and he won the World Golf Championship that year. So if you're a keen golfer and you want to know about how to get tickets and everything, I suggest that you look at the Grove website or the European Tour website and work out how you can get some tickets from there. But it's nice to see major golf coming into Watford. It should bring a lot of visitors to the area. So that is obviously all good for the community in terms of funding and everything. From golf, where millions can be earned, to bowls, which has a, shall we say, a completely different reputation in that it's a sport that doesn't attract a lot of prize money as far as I'm aware and things like that. But several local bowls clubs in Watford have secured a local bowls club, I should say, secured £75,000 from Sport England, a grant from Sport England. Hearts Bowling Club in Wood Avenue is one of several 91 sporting projects that have been given a £6 million lottery funding grant to share from Sports England. Apparently the club has members all across West Hertfordshire and East Buckinghamshire. They're obviously delighted about it. 94 million is an awful lot of, since 2011 Sports England have invested 94 million into more than 1,800 projects to improve and refurbish sports club. So hopefully the standard of bowls and everything in the area will continue to rise. that's the end of me subbing for Neal in the sports news. So, Catherine, hello. We're going to be talking about Watford Borough Council's Diwali celebrations.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's going to be a festival of light. Watford is days away from hosting what's becoming an annual event, what has become an annual event in the parade, Diwali on the parade. This is going to be on Sunday. It's from noon till 5 p.m. So by the time 5 p.m. comes along, it'll be dark, and it will be wonderful to see everything lit up. There's going to be fireworks and a flame display of some sort at the end of the evening as well. It's free, just turn up, get involved. There's lots of activities going on. There's entertainment. It's a celebration for everyone to join in. So anybody from any background, any religion can join in, and perhaps even learn a little bit about a religion that they might not know very much about. You can try out Mendi, you can try out Gopi dot painting, you can make a lantern to float on the pond, and there's craft and food market too. There's also a show at the Palace Theatre, which there is a charge to get into that, but the rest of it is absolutely free. So turn up on Sunday and enjoy some Indian classical music, some lovely food, and entertainment for everyone.
Okay, and that's just in the parade area where the sandcastle, sand pit was, and the ice rink will be, and things like that.
Around the entertainment area. I was going to say, actually, almost in the same breath, that where's my little thing? That we've got the ice rink is coming back again as well. The big skate returns. That's it. That's later on in November the 28th. But something to put in your diaries. So.
No, don't think so.
Something for some people to put in their diaries.
Exactly.
We can enjoy the hot dogs and the hot chocolate by the side.
Yes, yeah. I would rather go inside, but anyway, that's my preference. But anyway, on a slightly more cultural note, Watford Camera Club are holding their annual exhibition this week.
Absolutely, yeah. This is at the top of Into. It starts. I think there's an opening event on Saturday the 24th of October. It then runs daily until the 1st of November. There's lots of different times depending on which day you go, so I'll post those up at the end as a link so that you can check out when you're in town. But yeah, this is at the north end of the shopping centre, close to Marks and Spencer's. If you go one floor up from the shopping centre, then that's where the gallery is located. You can't miss it, really, if you just keep going up till you can't go any further. The grand opening will be on Saturday at 2:30, where we've got the chairman of Watford Borough Council and Liberal Democrat councillor Corinne Hastrick. She will declare it open and present prizes and trophies to the winners of the various categories. There's lots of different categories and lots to see. So it's a big thank you to the judges who gave up. Judge Paul Keane gave up a Saturday morning to go and view all the entries and pick out the winners. In all, there were 108 prints, 129 PDIs. What's a PDI, Diane?
Projected digital image.
Okay, digital images, okay. Submitted by 27 club members. I'm glad we've got our camera expert here, of course. But yeah, big thank you to everybody involved in that. Come along, take the time to visit, tell friends and family about it, and publicise it on social media. It's an event to get stuck into because, again, it's free.
That sounds great. And there's a host of artists meeting down in Artist Meet.
Indeed.
Annual open exhibition.
Carrying on the arty theme, yes, absolutely. This begins on, there is an opening reception on Tuesday, but the exhibition itself begins on Wednesday the 4th of November. It goes on over 8 weeks, and there is a varied collection of art from over 15 selected artists living locally in Three Rivers and across Hertfordshire and the UK. The theme that they were all given was capturing the essence of time. So artists have submitted pieces, and there were various categories again for people to submit their pieces. But again, it's a wonderful opportunity to go along and enjoy some some art. It's open Monday to Friday 9 till 5, Saturday 10 till 2. It's free. Go along to at Waters Meet and enjoy Artists Meet.
Okay, that's great. And if you want to do something spooky, there are all sorts of things happening this week.
There are not my cup of tea at all, but if it's your thing, there are so many things going on. Starting tomorrow, Langleybury Children's Farm is having a Halloween party. That's from 5 o'clock onwards. Again, I won't read out all the details. I'll post these up afterwards. I'll give you the bare bones, if you'll pardon the pun. Langleybury Children's Farm having their party from 5 o'clock onwards. That's tomorrow. And adults £3.80, children £2.25. £2 extra for the haunted house tickets, apparently. So that sounds fascinating. Wednesday the 28th, Haunted Dolls House at the Radlett Centre. That's a lovely centre in the middle of Radlett. You can't miss it. That's Wednesday the 28th at 8 o'clock. That sounds intriguing. It sounds like an evening show. Tickets £14 and £12 concessions. On Friday the 30th, Chiltern Open Air Museum are having a Halloween evening. This is in Chalfont St Giles, and it's from 5 till 9. Tickets 4 to 16-year-olds £8.50, adults £6. It's an interesting one. The adults are more are cheaper than the children's. Sure if that's the right way round, but hey-ho. I'll put the tickets at the information up anyway. Peace Hospice are also having a do on Friday the 30th. They're having a quiz night. Doors open at 7. Tickets are £25. Includes food and drink. So that sounds very interesting. That's much more my cup of tea. Or wine. Book early to avoid disappointment for that one. Also on Friday, there's a lot happening on Friday, so you'd have to clear your diaries. Spooky Halloween Quest at Castlebury Park, 5:30 till 7:30. Now it's definitely going to be dark at that time, so I should take a torch if I were you. That's just me as a parent speaking. Hey, but suitable for ages 6 and over. Booking essential with Park Ranger Debbie Brady. I'll put her details up. And Croxley Green Community Club are having a Halloween party on Saturday the 31st. Members only, telephone for details. I'll put that up as well.
Okay, that's great. And if Halloween isn't your experience, you can live through a different type of hell, the 1940s experience.
Yeah, this is great, and I was delighted to meet the couple that run this last week or the week before. I can't remember which now. They're a lovely couple, and they get very, very busy. Lots of groups, school children, all the rest of it go down and visit there. It's a great resource for stepping back in time. So if you fancy enjoying the 1940s experience, they're open every last Sunday of every month, excluding December. So they're open from 10:30 till 4. Last entry at 3 o'clock. Adults are £5, children OAPs are £3, under 4s are free. Yeah, go down and enjoy everything that's 1940s. There's rooms you can visit, there's stuff outside as well. You can really immerse yourself in the experience and imagine that you've gone back in time.
Okay, that's great. And Michael Green Foundation have a runner.
Yes, absolutely. We've got Dean, who's running the Bristol and Bath Marathon on Sunday. So he's been training hard. We put loads of posts out about it on social media. If you want to have a look and see how he's doing on his fundraising page, you can have a look at our website, www.michaelgreenfoundation.org. He's almost raised £1,000. We would love to get him to his target of £1,000. So if you've got a few pence to spare, that would be lovely if you could sponsor him. Go Dean.
Okay, and talking of fundraising and everything, and we've talked a little bit about Michael Green, and Tania talked about the money raised at the football game on Saturday. They have slightly bigger ambitions starting in March next year. Yeah,
Peace Hospice. That must be one of their big events of the year. This is a 9-day Moroccan adventure from the 1st to the 9th of March. So booking is still open, but I understand it isn't open for very much longer. So if you're interested in taking up this challenge, then get in touch with them and get your name down. They're celebrating 25 years of the Peace Hospice, which is pretty remarkable. They're planning a trip to an opportunity to experience the heat of the Sahara Desert and the icy peaks of nearby Mount Toubkal. Don't quote me on that pronunciation, which is the highest mountain in North Africa. So it's a real challenge, something to get stuck into, something to challenge yourself about. They've in the past they've raised amounts like £176,000. That was on the Great Wall of China trek. So it's an impressive amount of money that that can be raised taking part in this. It's open to anyone of any fitness level. They've got a great team of people already signed up. They are asking that participants raise £1,950. So it is a commitment if you take up the challenge. There is a lot of fundraising to do, but the rewards would be multifold. You'd be completing the challenge for yourself and raising money for the Peace Hospice, which, as we know, is a fantastic local cause, and who knows when, as a family, we might need it.
Okay, that's great. Now, I know Chris is in Rickmansworth, because occasionally you may have heard a slight buzzing, which is where you've had some interference on the line from Chris. Hopefully he's there now to talk to people. Chris, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can, and we can see you.
Oh, fantastic. That's a double whammy then, isn't it? So I'm down here in Rickmansworth. As you can see, there's a bit of the High Street. I'm in Station Road. I'm just about to go in and see Abby and Lauren. So I'm just going to put you on the front camera, just so as you can see where I am. Actually, a little bit of late news. The Station Road down here is actually closed for some bizarre reason. So I have no idea how I'm going to get out of here once I've finish this interview, but I shall cross that bridge when I come to it. So I'm here now outside the Love 2 boutique here, and this is a lovely little shop in Rickmansworth, ladies' boutique. I wouldn't normally be seen going in the shops like this myself, but I'm going to go in and say hello to... Hello, right, ladies, hello. So, hello, Abby.
Hello.
And hello, Lauren.
Hi.
Right, now, you don't both work here, so...
I wish you did.
Okay, so, first of all, Abby, tell us a little bit about what you're doing down here.
Well, I've got a lovely ladies' clothing boutique and accessories. We've been here just under 2 years, and Lauren's got a photography studio just at the top of the High Street called Bubbles, so we've met each other through the town team, and we're trying to work together to improve footfall in the town and increase trade to Rickmansworth.
Okay, so you've been here nearly 2 years, so big party coming up, second year? Yeah,
a bit of a party coming up, popcorn and Prosecco party, so if you're around, pop along on the 7th of November and come and see our new Christmas collection, and come and have a party.
Okay, so Lauren, where are you based compared to here? Little up Station Road here, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm just at the other end of the High Street, opposite Iceland.
Okay, and how long have you been there?
Just, I think it's about 1.5 years now.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And how's it going?
It's going really well.
Okay, so I met both of you over at the Fox and Hounds the other week, and that was something that was arranged by Patrick, which is about, I don't know what the name of it is. It's a name of
We've called it Rickmansworth It, which is a name that the Chamber of Commerce kind of had, and they've let us use.
Okay.
So we're sort of working in conjunction with them, but we're slightly different because we're for retail businesses in the town. And the idea is that we're trying to get businesses to join together to improve trade and get the council talking to us and see what we can do to make things busier and better.
So there is an initiative, isn't there, to close the High Street? Is that
it's something we'd like to do and that we've talked about and discussed with the council, but whether or not it will actually happen is quite another matter. We've closed the High Street for markets and things like that, but obviously the intention would be that we'd close it for the traders that are already here in the town, so that it would create a bit more of a community. People could be sitting out on the streets. We'd perhaps have street performers, but it's quite expensive, so we're looking for some nice businesses to perhaps sponsor us, get involved. We're talking to some of the banks, and there's potential interest there. So that would be the long-term goal of the group, would be to perhaps pedestrianise the High Street on a Saturday, try and get a bit of a buzz and a nice atmosphere
So
going.
is the plan to do something about on Small Business Saturday for that?
Yes, I think
the 5th of December, isn't it?
it's the 5th of December, yeah. I think we're probably running out of time to pedestrianise the street then, because you have to put in planning application, which should be 8 weeks, which obviously we've already passed. So I don't think that's going to happen, but we're still getting involved in Small Business Saturday. And there's we could still have some street performers, perhaps up Station Road, be nice, but we won't leave out the High Street. So so we still want to get involved in that. But again, it's all to do with money and sponsorship. There are a lot of small businesses in the town here, and footfall is down a bit for us, so paying out for things like that is quite expensive. But if we can all work together, then it becomes more achievable.
So Rickmansworth worth it. How many people in the town, in the shops, have actually sort of signed up to be part of it?
We're just making some maps now, so we've spoken to a lot of local businesses, but we're making some maps, printing them out, because it's easier for people to see what we're actually doing when we've printed that. So we like to think that I think all of the independent shops and restaurants will be interested in once we show them exactly what we're doing.
I think there's about 6 to 8 of us who regularly attend meetings at the moment, but it's, like Lauren says, I think once we've got something visual that we can show people what we're doing, and it will be a map of the town, a really nice kind of 3D kind of graphic picture that will show where the businesses are, where you can go, all the facilities in the town. And then we can get that posted out to residents and hopefully get a bit of excitement going for Christmas, which will be good.
Well, we could actually do interviews with all these people and put those on their websites and stuff. That's another reason for them to get involved, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's just about creating a sense of community as well, because I think through doing this, there's a lot of people who perhaps haven't spoken to each other for whatever reason. Small businesses were busy running their own thing, and actually, if all this does is make other businesses talk together and realise that they've got something in common or something that they can help each other with, then I think that's a success in its own right. So,
All right, well, we wish you all the best for that. Thanks so much for giving us a bit. We'll be back. We'll be back to see how you're getting on. Maybe in the new year, but we'll be back. Maybe I'll come down for that birthday party.
Yes, do. Yeah. Come and see all the lovely ladies.
I still have drinking. That's a bit.
That's a bit of a shame. Yeah, we do have non-alcoholic drinks as well. We're not just all about prosecco, but
not all about prosecco.
No.
Okay, well, thanks ever so much for
talking
to us. And I'll see you again soon at one of these things, won't I? Okay, thank you very much. Okay. There you go, Diane. So there we have it. The project down here in Rickmansworth High Street, which I'm now just entering into, is well underway, and I wish them all the best for that. It is a real challenge with the high streets as they are, but I think Link for Growth is going to be working quite closely with Patrick and a rejuvenation of community down here, and I think we can help them a lot, and I think that's going to be really good for Rickmansworth. It's a fabulous, it's a fabulous town here. I mean, the streets and stuff are really the streets and stuff are really, really good. There's a lot of history here, so I think it's going to be a great project, and I look forward to working with the Rickmansworth team down here.
Okay, that sounds really good, and maybe we should have a link for Prosecco.
I think that's probably already on the cards, isn't it? They were, I have to be honest, they were drinking a little bit of Prosecco there for Dutch courage, but I'm not that scary, am I?
No, I wouldn't say so, but others might disagree with me. But anyway, we have a link for coffee tomorrow. Now, it's usually at the market. Chris, where are we going to meet tomorrow?
Yeah, that's a toughie, isn't it? I think maybe we'll do a barracuda or something. I know that you ladies will probably enjoy that a little bit more than the outside cold of the market, but we'll see. But that looks like it's probably favourite at the moment.
Okay, great. But it'll still be from 10 to 11:30. Still a great opportunity to come along and ask some questions about Link for Growth and what it does and doesn't do and stuff like that and how it works. Then on Monday, there's a Link for Coffee at Cafe Loco in Northwood, which is near the station, Moore Park Station. And there I know, Chris, that instead of having lemon drizzle cake, you have carrot cake, because I've tasted it, and Matthew's carrot cake is delicious. That's on Monday morning between 10 and 11:30. Also on Monday evening at Reason Coffee Shop, we're having another coffee, but this one is from 5:30 to 7. It's a great chance to drop in, to say hello to people, meet people, talk about things on the way home, because mornings don't work for everyone. So it's a really good way of finding out, again, more about what Link for Growth does and how Link for Growth can help you, and you can help Link for Growth and eventually build, hopefully, a thriving local community. And on Tuesday, we have Link for Coffee at the Regis Building in Park Road in Rickmansworth, and that's from 10 to 11:30. That happens on the last Tuesday of every month, and it's usually a venue where I mean, a few people turn up, but they're the people who tend to have very good discussions and move on business and move on initiatives from that area. So if you want to find out, if you live down in Rickmansworth, you want to find out about what's happening down that way, what Link for Growth is doing down there, then please do go along.
It's going to be more exciting this month because Rickmansworth has come alive. Rickmansworth has come alive, so hopefully there'll be a lot of people down there.
Okay, that's fabulous. And we also have 2 online mentoring groups this week running, and you can see details from the online mentoring groups webpage. And finally, Catherine,
hello.
You, please.
Absolutely.
Let's talk of coffee and Prosecco.
It's mouth-watering stuff, isn't it? Whichever sort of cake takes your fancy to go with it. But I was going to slip in very, very quickly. The e-newsletter from Richard Harrington has just come out. It's literally just dropped into my inbox, which means I can now announce officially that we were, the Michael Green Foundation was one of the charities to benefit from his recent handout. If I quote from his email, as many people know, I thought the recent decision by the independent pay body to increase MP pay was misguided and wrong. I said I would donate this money to local charities and ask charities to come forward. It was so good to hear more about the amazing things going on every day in our area. So basically 20 local charities in the area have received a donation from Richard Harrington pretty much out of his pocket, which I think is a really nice thing to do. So thank you, Richard. Now, moving on, Café Rouge is our place of dining this week. We don't actually have one in Watford, but the nearest ones to us are in St Albans, Pinner and Ruislip. They're all over the place, so I dare say it'll be only a matter of time before we get one in Watford in Restaurant Quarter. It's a lovely place, actually, and the one in St Albans, which is the one where we've been to, is located in... oh gosh, I forgot the name of it now, but you can see it as you go up Holywell Hill. It's on the right. It's what used to be the Ryder Seed place, which was named. The name was taken for the Ryder Cup. The guy that owned it was Mr. Ryder, but they've kept the character of the building very much as it was from many years ago. So it's a lovely place, full of windows, full of light. It's a beautiful place, and really lends itself to the sort of French chic of Café Rouge. Their menus are very much French orientated, so they'll include some very traditional dishes like their French onion soup, moules marinières or moules frites, that's mussels with chips, to those that don't know. But it's really tasty food. They're a lovely bunch in there as well, very, very friendly. It's easy to book a table. You can either phone them up or do it all online. They've got some lovely offers on at the moment as well. They've got a 2-for-1 breakfast, and their breakfasts are very, very good. We tried one in London when we were there a weekend ago, and it was absolutely lovely. And say your 2-for-1 makes it really worthwhile for £15 for 2 people. There's another offer up until Sunday the 8th of November for £25 off food as well. They've got Christmas offers coming up. If you book a table before the end of October the 31st for a Christmas do of some sort, you get a £20 voucher in January. So they're looking after their customers in quite a nice way as well. But as I say, it's a lovely menu, lovely atmosphere, very reasonably priced food, and it's all very freshly cooked. So if you fancy a nice meal, breakfast, dinner, brunch, tea, whatever you like, they will be happy to accommodate. Go along and enjoy.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that. And on that kind of foodie note, it's as usual time to end. So I'll say cheerio. Tania, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you very much indeed. See you next time.
For you. And Chris in Rickmansworth, thank you. And I think Chris has disappeared. And Catherine. Oh, he hasn't disappeared.
No, I'm still here. I'm just waiting to drive back to Watford. But yeah, thanks for a great show. Hope my contribution wasn't too wayward this week.
It was fine. Thank you very much. And Catherine.
And thank you very much. It's been very enjoyable.
Okay, well, that's it. And we will be back next week with more information to do with South West Herts and surrounding areas and districts. And we hope to see you all then. Bye-bye.